Learning to drive is a massive milestone, right? And getting some extra practice in with someone you know can make a huge difference. But, it's not quite as simple as just grabbing the keys and heading out. There are actual official rules for this unofficial practice. And in this explainer, we're going to break every single one down for you. So, you've done all the paperwork, you've got that provisional license in your hand, and you are just itching to get behind the wheel. The big question is, what now? Who can actually, legally, sit next to you, and what do you need to do to make sure you're both playing by the book?
All right, here's the game plan. First up, who can actually teach you? Then we'll dive deep into the rulebook for your supervisor and for your car. We'll also look at the pretty serious costs of getting it wrong. And finally, what happens after you ace that test?
Okay, first things first. Before you even think about turning that key, let's figure out who is legally allowed to be in that passenger seat telling you what to do.
Basically, you've got two paths you can take. On one side, you have the pros, the approved driving instructors, or ADIs. You'll spot them by the green or pink badge they have in their windscreen. And the big thing to remember here is you are paying them for their skills. On the other side, you've got your family or your friends. Now, the absolute key difference here is that they can't be paid for it, and more importantly, they have to meet a very specific, very strict set of legal requirements.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty of those requirements. If your mom, dad, or your best mate wants to supervise you, they can't just, hop in the passenger seat. They have to follow a pretty strict rule book themselves.
Okay, there are 3 core rules, and these are non-negotiable. First, they have to be over 21. Simple enough. Second, they need the right kind of license. So if you're learning in a manual car, they need a full manual license too. And third, and this is a big one, they must have held that license for at least 3 years. And trust me, there's a really good reason for that. It means they've actually seen a thing or two on the roads and have the experience to guide you properly.
And, there's a little bit of fine print on that license rule. It can't just be any old license held for 3 years. It's got to be from the UK or one of these specific European countries. It's a small detail, but it's an absolutely crucial one. And wait, there's more. 2 other massive rules you got to know. For your supervisor, it is completely illegal for them to be on their mobile phone. Their attention has to be 100% on you and the road. And for you, the learner, motorways are a total no-go zone when you're with family or friends. Why? Because that's a whole different ballgame. You can only go there with a proper instructor who's got dual controls in their car.
All right, supervisor, check. Now what about the car itself? Well, it needs to be wearing the right uniform to even be considered road legal for practice.
Yup, we are talking about the classic L plates, and there are very specific laws about these. You need one on the front and one on the back. They have to be easy to see, and they must be the official design, that red L on a white background, and the proper legal size. Trying to get away with some tiny stuck-on thing you bought online? Nope, that won't fly. Oh, and a quick heads up for our learners in Wales, you can use a D plate instead if you want.
Okay, now for what is maybe the most important question of all. Getting this part wrong can lead to the biggest, most serious consequences.
Okay, let's break this down because it's super important. If you're practicing in your very own car, you need to get a specific learner-driver insurance policy. If you're borrowing someone else's car, you've got 2 choices. Either they officially add you to their insurance policy as a named learner-driver, or you have to get your own policy just for that car. And here is a pro tip. Seriously, listen up. Always check the small print. Some insurance companies actually require the supervisor to be over 25, not just the legal minimum of 21. You do not want to get caught out by that one.
So, we've gone through a lot of rules, right? And there's a reason for that. The penalties for ignoring them are, well, they're really serious. This isn't just some friendly advice. This is the law, and if you break it, it can have a massive impact on your driving future.
So, what happens if you just, head out with a mate who doesn't quite meet the criteria, or you forget to stick your L plates on properly? What's the damage?
Well, for starters, you could get hit with this, up to 6 penalty points on your provisional license. That is a really, really bad start. If you get just a few more after you pass your test, you could lose your license altogether.
And as if that's not bad enough, on top of the points, you could also be looking at a fine of up to £1,000. Ouch. That is one very expensive practice session.
But look, as bad as all that sounds, it is literally nothing compared to the penalties for driving without the right insurance. This is the one rule you absolutely, positively cannot afford to mess up.
I mean, just take a look at this. The fine, it's unlimited. The
The penalty points? Up to 8 of them. And you can just be banned from driving entirely. They can even take the car and destroy it. It is just not worth the risk. Ever. All right, let's shift gears and end on a high note, shall we? You followed all the rules, you put in hours of practice, you've aced your test. Congratulations. So what happens now?
So, first things first, before we even talk about P-plates, a quick but really important tip. As soon as you're not a learner anymore, or if a full license holder is driving the car, you got to take those L plates off.
And then you get to graduate to these, if you want, the green P plates. Now, these are totally optional, but they're a really good way to let other drivers know that you've just passed and you're still building up your confidence. Think of it as a polite little wave to other drivers, kind of saying, hey, I'm new at this, maybe give me some space. And you can keep them on for as long as you feel you need to.
And there you have it, the complete guide to practicing your driving with family and friends. Knowing these rules is absolutely the first step to being safe, legal, and ready for that test. So now you know the rules, the only real question left is, are you ready for the road?
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and leave a comment. Download our app and keep studying on the go. Scan the QR code to get started.